What's going on?
Okay.
Welcome back to the Heir Brand Podcast. This is season 4, episode 12. I have the pleasure and honor of having an old great friend of mine, Mary Finney. She is an owner and operator of Beasty Designs. She's also an art teacher and a philanthropist.
I still feel like
Oh,
philanthropist
Lord.
is such a strong word. But overall, I mean, it sounds good. It made me sound good. So, but yeah,
All
good to
right,
be
so
here.
to start off with the first question, like many episodes before, are you living your best life for you?
Okay. Yes. And I would only say that like in your mind, you think that you're doing what you need to do for you, but it takes a while of unpacking, digging up foundational understandings to realize that sometimes you might be living for somebody else and not recognize it. So I could say now and I have no shame in my 37 years, I'm definitely living for me now. So
Yeah, I
definitely.
love that.
Yes.
Like, a lot of people practice self-love, but like they don't really, I guess, have an idea of what it looks like until they actually are in it.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of the time we're told to do something when we're younger. We don't recognize that those are like the foundational things that we move by. And then when you finally get to that spot, you're like, why am I doing this again? And you realize like this is not even what you want. It's not even what you're really interested in. It's just what they told you, and you have to realize that that's not
Exactly.
how your story is going to
Your
be.
journey
You
is
know what I
not
mean?
everybody else's.
So,
So
hmm exactly. I had a good friend who used sci-fi movies as references for things like that. So he said, I don't know if you're a Lord of the Rings fan. It's like you got to take
yeah,
your own
yeah,
ring to Mordor. You got to choose for Matrix. You
yeah,
got to choose your own pill. You know what I'm saying? It might not be
yeah.
what you want,
Yeah,
but
I,
yeah, I
I
thought
like
that was a
Lord of
good
the Rings
example.
and the spin-offs.
Hmm
Absolutely, absolutely.
hmm
So, hey,
Had to throw in that
I love
nerd
that.
thing right there.
Nerd over there at Blur and Beyond.
That's cool.
What is it? Is it difficult wearing so many hats? Because yes.
I mean, always. I mean, I was told, I don't know who it was that told me that, but a lot of the time, if you are giving 100% at one thing, it's hard to give something else just as much? So I can easily say that there's probably not anything that's getting 100%. I'm pushing it as best I can, but then it's like, what's at stake to try to push that to give everything 100%? So it's challenging, but I think you can figure out what your balance is, but you have to know yourself, what works for you, and you know yourself better than anybody. So it's like if you keep running to the wall, maybe you should change direction. You know what I mean?
Like for
So
me,
definitely challenging.
my listeners can like attest to that. There's times I done took breaks on things like because I'm either writing, like, or sometimes I don't even write. It was like I went a few weeks without writing, or like I didn't do this podcast. I haven't. I did one
Hmm
last week, but I haven't done it in a while. So it's like that's bad because there's certain things I shouldn't take breaks on, but it's certain things I have like pushed back to the I guess the back burner to like focus on the other things that I
hmm
need to keep consistent.
Yeah, I have analogies for days, by the
All
way, so
right.
tell me to stop if you don't get them. But it reminds me of the old school video games, the Nintendo 64. Whenever you put a car that you're driving on automatic, you had to work multiple buttons in order to get your car to move. You couldn't just hold the A and it'll drive forward. You have to hold the top, which I don't know, maybe associated to how cars were driven if you
Yeah.
drive stick or something, but there was multiple buttons. So it's like, even though you recognize that your goal is to drive, that doesn't take an account to you still have to be ready to press this button and hold it. And then you're also moving this button and stop it. So it's like there's multiple things that can stop you from giving everything your own focus. And you may not even realize what they are. So that came to my mind when you were talking about sometimes you need to write, but then presidents might be the
Yeah.
priorities that come in. So oh, yeah, I need to be writing, but this bill due right here, I need to go ahead and knock out this one thing for the cash of that. And then, you know what I mean? Like there's always
Yeah,
things. I've had a stressful week. I can't do it right now. You know what I mean? So don't beat yourself up in those. You're gonna have times where it's like, and from someone who's
yeah,
worn multiple hats for many years, don't beat yourself up if you feel like you have to reshift your attention for a little bit and come back to it.
yeah.
So
Appreciate that.
it's okay.
So,
You're welcome.
I like this question. Um, so, is it hard being a black woman in
Okay.
art?
Hmm. Surprisingly,
Okay.
I don't believe so. Um, I, and I'm an art teacher. I'm gonna try not to throw a whole bunch of information out there. However, back in the day, the old white European men were the ones who were known for making art. It took years before women were accepted or seen as individuals that could create something worth looking at, let alone something that could be used or seen in a museum. So this day and age, this good 2025 has completely changed that. Actually, I feel like since COVID, everything's changed because yes, there was a market for art. It was a little bit harder to get into, but it's not impossible. And even now, there might be some people who say that, oh, it's hard to get into. However, there are so many resources available now that were not there. And and I'm not trying to be biased, but a lot of the people I see pushing the art is Black women. So I don't feel like it's hard. I do feel like it's going to have its challenges, like anything that you try to do and overcome. But no, I actually feel like because I'm a Black woman, I might have more of a platform than I know and that I realize. Um, it's just more now of, am I going to put the effort to go that way or am
Yeah,
I going to wait or, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
yeah, that's a
So,
really
yeah,
good
that's what I
answer.
know.
I feel like black women have done a lot, more than what they're celebrated on. Uh, you know how that goes, unfortunately. But yeah, like you said,
Hmm.
y'all probably like you even yourself. You have a platform for that, and you might then not realize it at the time. But I think that goes a lot for a lot of y'all, even black guys in general. Like, but more so black women, because
Hmm.
I seen your art. I
Hmm.
shared it with my mom. Like, it's really good. Like I
Oh,
never even
thanks.
really sat down and painted. Like I'm like,
Thank you.
cause like I gotta get my brain out of um, still life mode, still life mode. So, but yeah, like, and I don't
Hmm.
know. Like, do you cosplay? Cause like, or so like, yeah, I need to.
Of course. Of
I
course
don't
I
know, cause
do.
there's a blurred con that usually is up there, right? Okay.
It's they used to have it every July at the beginning of July, but it switched. As of this year, it was in March. So next year's gonna be in March again.
Get some of the guys together.
Hmm.
Cause yeah, I've been wanting to.
Yep.
I
Come
have
on,
some
come on.
so it's intricate because I don't want to just like do it. Like, oh yeah, like I want my cosplay to be remembered. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you see that?
Well, the only thing about that from the overachiever and most of the things that I do, you have to make sure you make time for it and just do it. Because the more you think about it, it's gonna always be an idea. And I say that because I bought, tell you, I bought when I got that check
Yeah,
from Trump during COVID. I bought this wing skeleton thing that allowed me to like pull the strings and the wings come up like that. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make this Demona
yeah,
cosplay. What? It's from Gargoyles. Like I'm like, oh, it's gonna be amazing, right? It is still sitting up there. It's 5 years now. I've cosplayed other things, and every time I thought about that, I've never come back to it. So if you're going to do it, just do it because it will just sit there until you decide. But yeah, do it. Do it. Whatever you're gonna do, start.
okay,
Start. That's my lesson for anybody listening, watching. Start.
that's good.
Just
probably
start.
reach out to you about some stuff because yeah, especially the body paint because I want to
Definitely.
do Nightcrawler or something like it's something. Yeah, I,
Hey, I did that one too.
I,
I'm
so
all for it.
how did you find your voice?
You know, I feel like you only know your voice if you get into a space that allows you to speak so you can hear yourself and your voice clearly. So let's say I decide I paint a picture and it took me like 2 weeks to do it. And while I'm doing it, I'm learning things that work, things that don't work, looking up things, finding research, finding things to put into it, and making how I create this into my own style. But and let's say everything went really good. I'm really satisfied with how it looks. I'm proud of myself. But then I stop and I don't do another piece until somebody asks me. There is no way that I can recognize my voice and the voice that comes out from my creating if I only do it one time. You have to almost immerse yourself in it. Almost like if you were learning another language. The first thing that they would tell you to do is get to a point where you're surrounded by it so you can pick it up. Again, teacher and me, whenever we have English language learners coming to the classroom, they just got transferred there. English is not their first language. They're immersed in another language in order for them to get it. It takes repetition. It takes consistent
Right.
effort in order to recognize those things. So you'll never be able to recognize your voice if you don't do it. So that being said, I feel like I've heard my voice because I continue to push through to do something. Even if I was made to do it because I got a commission or whatever, or when I was hungry when I first started body painting, I just kept on going, kept going till I recognized what it is that I liked and that I didn't like. So then my voice became a little bit clearer for me to understand and for me to be able to create and express and explain it the way for my viewers to understand. Does that make sense? So, long story short, you won't be able to really know your voice unless you put yourself in a place
Yeah,
to
you
hear
really
it.
put yeah
Ooh, catch
yeah
that. That was nicely said. You catch
definitely
that?
beautifully put. So 'cause especially with the language we're talking about, so it's almost like um, finding your voice. It's almost like another love language. Um,
Yeah. Mm, that's interesting. Find your voice is like another love language. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's still a
yeah.
lot of soul searching to figure out if it's going to work. So, yeah, definitely. I could say that.
Okay.
I would agree with that statement.
So
Okay.
do you see yourself being a part of a collective, or are you already a part of one?
I don't think that I am a part of a collective because there's no one that I consistently go to and
Okay.
talk to about different things. Um, would do I see myself being a part of one? Of course, I would be a part of one. I feel like it's important to have a tribe. I don't feel like you'd really be able to get a lot of places just working by yourself the whole time. Because there's perspectives that you won't be able to get if you're just inside of this bubble. So, and yeah, you could always look up stuff online, but that's also you steering. Sometimes if you're going to be on a boat, you got to work with someone. You don't just got to keep going solo. You're going to get burnt out potentially thinking about a rowboat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah. Taking a step out there.
so yeah, I would be a part of a collective. I
I mean,
would.
it might be one for you. Like,
Mhm. Well, honestly, it doesn't have to be something that I'm already or
right.
that's
No.
like-minded. Like it doesn't have to be a bunch of body paint. It doesn't have to be a bunch of teachers or artists who are teachers, though that would be pretty cool. Um, so yeah, I think so because I think with that, since it would bring a different variety, that wouldn't be there
Yeah, that
if
would be
it was all the same thing. What we're talking about is technique and how to use stuff versus this is what I was thinking and be like, oh, how's that translate to my stuff?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I
So
learned that
yeah,
from like there was an art conference and everybody's stuff was different, but I like took from that stuff and like put it in my art. So well, from what I learned.
hmm that's pretty cool. It was a
It was an art conference.
conference? What kind of
I think
conference was it?
yeah, like in I forgot what year it was. It
Oh,
was good. Like
pretty cool.
A&T was there. They probably were the best ones, which is crazy. It's like, dang, they just
And they were like showing the work from the students
yeah,
that went to the university.
FSU stuff was
What? That's
there.
so
Like
cool.
we're good too though, but I'm like, but it's just like A&T really stood out. I was like, dang, so they just get at
It was
everything. Like,
wow.
I was like, dang.
No, don't do
Like,
that.
yeah,
Don't do that. Okay. Hmm. That would have been cool to have a
yeah,
conference
apparently they do it all
for
the time.
college.
Yeah,
That
apparently
would
they
have
do it all
definitely
the time.
motivated some
Like
people.
there was
Huh?
people from Morehouse, if I'm not mistaken, too. I was like, what the world? And there was some other college I can't remember the name, but they were good too.
Mm.
Like A&T stood out, but it was other people stuff stood out as well. I was like, dang, but it was just them as a whole. It was like, oh my god, you were there too? Like what the heck? And it was all different. It was all different. Like, but yeah, it was
Wow.
a lot of black art,
That's pretty
a lot of
cool.
black art.
I gotta reach out.
Like,
That's pretty cool. Very cool. I gotta reach out to some of the professors, see what they're doing. I'm actually trying to reach out and see if somebody let me put a mural on their wall so I can go ahead and leave my touch over there. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna find somebody, Prince. You're gonna be like, "What you doing here?" Yup, I got this mural I
she
gotta
got you
paint
to do
at
that
Philly
J
State.
Cole with his not the newest one, but the one over there across the street from Philly State. I mean, that's good.
What?
Nah,
There's
it's
a
one in
mural over
downtown
there?
Fayetteville. Like somebody, a new artist did, and it's really good. Like really good. But
Yeah,
the
I seen they actually put out the
yeah,
information on that one. It was like a grant, and I had to come up with something specific. At that time, I did not move. I should have, but I deal with imposter syndrome sometimes. I don't know if you know what that is, but it happens even though I am capable and have done things. That's just I feel like one of my own
right.
personal weaknesses that I could get over. Imposter syndrome definitely stopped me from wanting to do that because I seen that grant and it was there for a minute. I was like, ain't nobody applied. I should apply, but I would do it now versus before. Before I was just
Yeah,
completely
and it was beautiful.
out of it.
Because
But
the one across the street is just like he
yeah.
added a picture of him to the mural that's already out there across the street. Yeah,
Oh, I know what you're
yeah.
talking about. You're talking about right there outside of Seabrook.
It
He's up
don't
there.
really
I've
look
seen
like him.
that. I know what you're
No, I
talking
know what
about.
you're
I
talking
thought you
about.
were
That's I'm
saying.
talking about that too. That one came out good, but the one over there by Philly State, it could have
Mm,
been better. Um, I don't think it literally looks
mm.
like him. I don't
I'm
think it
gonna have to
really
look
looks like.
next
It's
time
when
I
he
see.
had the fro, but
Okay.
I don't think that really looks like him. But hey, they probably could
Okay.
have. They did it. Probably could have did a better job than me. But
Oh,
I done drew J Cole several times, so I don't know. So if anybody try to comment,
okay.
like yeah,
Mhm.
he,
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand.
yeah.
Everybody got something to say. I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be cool though. I'm gonna reach out. Somebody gonna want a mural on their wall. They gonna let me touch it. Ooh, if I put a stamp on my alma mater,
See,
what you could tell
I
me
thought I
done.
was gonna go back and like design some more
Mm-hmm,
jerseys
mm-hmm.
and stuff. But, like,
Did you not have an
I
interest to
know.
go back and do it?
I be. I think that's what I was feeling high and mighty. I was like, yeah, you should call me. Yeah. I think because I applied for a design job there, I didn't get it. I was like,
Man, look,
oh, okay.
That's okay. They have other venues. They have other avenues, I'm sure. But you just gonna have to come to them correct and show them the work that you do and how you can help.
Yeah.
I mean, all they can do is say yes or no, right?
So
Watch me, man. All I need, I'm gonna get them too. I'm gonna do one in the band hall, and then if they allow it, I'm gonna tag whatever else they let me tag, and that's cool. I'm gonna put my foot in it. Just gonna be like,
yeah,
oh,
speaking
that's
to his
beautiful.
listen. I heard
Mm-hmm.
yourself that.
Yep, yep.
So at the
All
end of the
right.
day,
Mm-hmm.
do you know who you are?
Yes, more so than I did before, but I can also say that I'm still learning. Um, the me at 25 is not the same me at 30 or 32 or 37, you know? So, and as we're getting to know each other because, or know ourselves, because that's not prioritized when you're growing up, you know, really getting to know yourself. These are the ways you do it. So as you get older and you're learning yourself more, you're also changing. So things change. So it's a constant learning. But it's honestly a beautiful thing. Like especially when I can see the growth, it's weird. It's almost like stepping outside yourself, like, oh, did you see that? I remember this used to be the thing. You don't get angry no more. Oh, you know what I mean? Like it's just different. But again, I think it's beautiful because I know where I was before and I know how I felt before. So I can say that I know that myself, who I am now, is just different. And I know that now. You know what I mean? So yes. I know myself, but I'm definitely still
Yeah,
I'm not at the end. You know,
yeah.
there's
I
way more
think
to learn, I
like a
believe.
lot of people be so ready or like
Hmm.
to get to know other people, but like we lose that time for ourselves and how beautiful it is to get to know yourself. Like, and I guess time that you lost in a way.
Man, look, that's a whole nother podcast lesson right there. When you decide to take that click right there, that's a whole nother
Right.
thing. Okay. That's a whole nother thing. That one's heavy because that is a
Absolutely.
very hard lesson to learn.
All right.
Hmm.
So, what is a long-term goal that has come to fruition? Has come into fruition? Uh-oh.
Oh, there's so many.
That's just
And that's
tough.
the crazy part, right? I know there's a lot. So I journal. Okay, I actually have my journal right in front. It's literally a notebook. I put stickers on the front, and then outside of that, I'm writing. But because of it, I it allowed me to get things out of my head and put it on paper, even those things that I know I wanted to happen. Right? I don't even know if it's in this book. I had lost one of my books, and my whole
Dang,
book
they
got
kind of
stolen. But I wrote down up
people
here
get
just a list of things that I want. Man, they stole the
they
whole
kind of
bag. Look,
stole your book.
they stole the whole bag. All right. Man, everything. Like y'all could have just I know you just wanted the laptop. Take the laptop and leave my stuff. I need my book. So anyways, but I wrote it all down. And before I left Tampa, which is where I was living before I came here, I was really dead set on why do I feel like I can't achieve the things that I say that I want to achieve for myself? So like I by then I had already got my bachelor's. I had went back to school. I got my master's. But I wanted to get my teaching certification. That seemed to be like this dangling carrot that just I couldn't reach sometimes. Even when it came to my weight, that seemed like a dangling carrot I just could not reach. Um, but I realized that sometimes you don't need to have all the steps to get there. Just moving in like even the first three steps, changing your mindset to say, this is what I want, this is what I know I'm going to get, and just working towards that, being positive in it, literally is like manifesting, and things started falling in place. All that to say, um, I said that when I moved here, I didn't want to rent a place because all the rent was like crazy high, like 2,200 for like 600 square feet. Crazy. So I was like, I don't want that. I want to buy a house. Every single move that I've had, granted, I went from North Carolina to Florida, Florida to Virginia, Virginia to Maryland. Okay. That's literally my last 5 years. And every time my credit dropped, like 500 dropped. I had credit cards paid off, and they said, send me a letter. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to close your card. I'm like, why? There's nothing on the card. Like, I paid it off. Leave my card. No, we're closing off because your credit scores dropped too low. Come back and reapply after your stuff gets higher. Like, it was crazy. All that being said is I was in a place that I had to continuously rebuild, where I felt like I'm doing everything that I need to do. Me and credit be boxing regularly. Like, okay, we down today, we gonna work it out. So all that said, I was able to buy a house. So this I'm living in is my house that I own. So that was a major thing for me.
That's what's up.
I usually don't be throwing it out there like that, but definitely as a teacher, I told myself that I wanted over 50K a year. Like, I wanted to be working for more than 50K. I didn't feel like that wasn't too much to ask. Like, I got a bachelor's, I got student loans, I got a master's, I got student loans. Like, I feel like it shouldn't be that hard. When I left, I'm gonna let y'all just calculate the numbers in your head yourself. When I left Florida, I came here for a job that was making, well, I was at 49. They were telling me they couldn't give me over 50. I have since more than doubled that for my annual, doing the same thing that I've been doing. So I'm still an art teacher, teaching at high school, but yes, I'm teaching at a high school in DC, and it has been an increase. Another goal, I've never gotten highly affected, which is, if you've ever taught, that's like where they tell you, oh, you're a good teacher or you're not a good teacher. And it'll be based on a bunch of things. They'll come and observe your class. They'll ask your students. They'll see what you do around the school, talk to your supervisors. And I've never gotten it. I've taught for 10 years. I've gotten it every single year that I've been here. Every single one. Previous schools, it came with a bonus. Here, it comes with a bonus and a raise. See what I'm saying? Like, and all I was doing was the stuff that I felt like I wanted to do. I really want to be making more money. I really want to have a house that's my own. I want to bring my credit up. I want to have a business that brings in wealth for my family. I want to, like, any of those things that I said that I want to do, because I was able to focus and just start the first 3 things, everything else started falling in place. And it was crazy. I lost 45 pounds, literally changing up what I was doing. I said, I'm not paying for no more gym subscriptions. I'm going to do this for free, because every time it hits my credit, I'm stuck. So I'm like, nah. When I'm in Florida, I got up at 4 o'clock. It was some Arnold Schwarzenegger thing that I seen. It's like, why wait when you can get up, or something about habits help and getting up early? Why not start now type of thing? Like, get up early. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to start getting up early. Got up at 4 a.m. I'm walking my dog, but I'm trying my best to hit 2 miles every day. Dropped 45 pounds in like 3 months. And it was, I'm eating, I'm doing everything I need to do. You know what I mean? So all that said, there's a bunch of things that have happened for me in being here. With hard work. I'm not going to say it was easy. Man, I'm not going to say it was easy, because there's multiple hats. Again, something's not going to get the attention. There was a good period. Like, I'll try to be positive, but that move here, it was hard. Like, and granted, I'm closer to family here than I was when I was in Florida. My closest family was 3 hours away. Here, I got a sister that's like an hour, but I was staying with her when I moved here. But that didn't change the fact that the move was hard, adapting to the new area, adapting to the money. Anytime you try to get stuff situated when it comes to the government and education, it's all a challenge, you know? So, but again, all those things happened because I was able to believe that I can do it. I know it sounds so cheesy. Believe it, you can achieve it. But for real, like, if you can see yourself doing it, that is half the battle. Because there's always that voice that's in the back of your head saying, nah, you don't need that. Nah, you don't want that. That's too much. That dream's too big. You ain't gonna be making that much money. You can't do that. You can't even afford this house. It's like there's always gonna be those negative things in the back of your head. Mine don't stop. I just don't hear, they're just not as loud. They're still there. Like I said, I deal with imposter syndrome. That thing be coming up like, hey, you probably shouldn't be doing this. This is not gonna end well. You know what I mean? But I keep pushing through, and I overcome it every time. So, no, that was a long story. I hope I
like,
your question.
being able Yeah.
Thank you.
That math is
Thank you, guys.
mathing too. That's
Hmm. Look,
no word.
things are going well. And once you know better, you just start doing better, man. So
Right.
it's like, okay, what's my next step? Figure it out. Find those first couple steps and then just make sure I'm in the right lane because it's going to come. So,
So
yeah.
the final question.
Final question.
Do you want to move hills or do you want to move mountains?
I want to move hills because sometimes when there's a mountain there, people only recognize it as being a mountain there. But when you can change small hills, that changes a landscape, that evens the field, that clears the view, that might make it easier for someone else to recognize that maybe this isn't as hard to get over because it's just a little hill. She
Yeah.
moved it. That means I can definitely go over it. Once you got that in your system, I can go over these hills. The mountain won't be anything. Challenging, yes, but not impossible. So I'd rather move hills, I think.
Yeah. That's a really good answer. That's a great perspective to look at. Yeah, that shows your mindset as well. Yeah, that's I can't really add to that. Yeah, that's a mic drop.
Yeah.
Like,
Start small.
yeah,
Really? Wasn't
yeah, that's dang.
it?
Yeah,
Man, look. I be reading a bunch of self-help
yeah,
books. They make
yeah,
things make sense sometimes.
okay, so
Mhm,
you want
mhm.
to shout out your
But
social
yeah.
media, like your
Mhm.
business and stuff?
Yes. Okay. Again, my name is Mary Finney. I am the owner and operator of Beasty Designs. That is BeastyDesigns. You can find me Beasty Designs 13 on Instagram. My TikTok is Finny Fin. That's gonna be mostly just my stuff. It'll translate later. But yeah, you should be able to find me. If you find me on Instagram, then you'll find me on all the other resources because all connected. My personal IG is life so sweet, life underscore so underscore sweet, and you can find me there. Yeah, look up some of my stuff. You can literally Google me, and you'll see some of my stuff up there. So,
There you
but yeah, thank you
go.
so much for having me on your show.
Man,
I need to go check and see what's gonna pop up.
well,
Actually, it should be good stuff, anyways. Just not
I have been
updated
your
stuff.
host, Jay
Yeah.
Air. This has been the Heir Brand Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram, Jay to the Throne, TikTok, Relatable Nostalgia. And I forgot to say the title of this episode, but it is called Evolving. So we're continuing the end season as well. This is part 2 of the end season, but the episode is called Evolving. Um, Thanks for coming.
Cool.
All right,
Thank
y'all be
you.